Hey guys, Ben here. Just wanted to give a quick video explaining some of my thoughts and why I think the buyback is something you need to think a lot more about. And maybe you could think about it like this. This might be like seen as too complicated or this isn't going to happen, but in my opinion, this is like pretty much logic and this should apply to Dota games as a concept. So maybe it's interesting. The buyback essentially does this. Let's talk about it. So, assuming you excel in these three areas, which I'll explain in a second why, you can essentially get double what your net worth's value is with a buyback, right? So, assuming I have 50 net worth in like value, right, of power, okay, and I buy back, I'm gonna get double this in value because I'm gonna get to use all my stuff twice. They're gonna have to go through me twice. I get to use all my spells twice. Maybe like an ultimate ability I won't be able to, but they're also gonna be lower on HP, and they're also going to be lower on spells because they've used the spells, right? They're going to be on cooldown for a lot of it, right? So I'm doubling my net worth. And you can see here, right? If, let's say I have a CM with a Yules, right? And she buys back. Sure, it's not going to create like that much of an impact because it's a CM with a Yules. She's not going to have much to use twice. But if I have an Earthshaker support with the Refresher Orb who's TPing in, or if I've got like an Enigma, right? They're essentially getting 2 times their value. So the more net worth you have, is what I'm saying. The more net worth you have, the higher value buyback becomes. So if I'm ahead of the enemy by this much, if I'm on 50 and they're on 30, and I buy back, I'm essentially getting 100 worth of value, and they could still only be on 30 because they might not be able to afford buybacks. So now I've got like a 70, whatever this unit is that I've made, you've got like a 70 advantage over them. I think it's a cool way to look at it. Like, your hero's strength is doubled with buyback. So the stronger you are, the bigger the buyback's value is. A PA 6 slotted will have more value than a CM with a Yules, right? To buyback. So when you're ahead, you want to abuse this ability because it's unlikely that they're going to have the strength to kill you twice if you're ahead as well. Like, that's near impossible. They're going to have to use all their ultimates to kill you once, and then you can close out with a second. Then you can close it out with the second life coming in. So, obviously, there's some fights where, like, you're not just going to buy back every fight. I'm not saying this, like, but I'm explaining why it's strong. So, your buyback also becomes stronger, right? When your tower damage is better. Because obviously when I buy back and then I win a fight, if I'm playing Ursa, I can't really like go and end the game. It's kind of a little bit risky. Or if I'm playing like Tinker, some of these heroes which don't really do damage to towers, it's going to be worse to buy back because you're not going to be able to build an advantage off of the one fight as easily. But still, might not matter. It's just a variable to think about. If I'm playing like a Troll Warlord and I buy back and kill them all, game over. I won the game with my buyback. But yeah, another one is mobility. Like, let's say you're playing like Puck, Weaver, all these heroes with ability or like Nature's Prophet abilities which can get you to the fight after you buy back. Because obviously it's no good if you just buy back and you're sat in your fountain and you can't do anything. I mean, another hero like this good for this maybe is like Zeus if he has like boots of travel as well. I don't know if that's the build nowadays, but he can use his ult and then he can TP to the fight or whatever. All these heroes with global. I mean, Dawnbreaker, another one. There's loads of heroes with really good mobility. Buybacks are super good on them. Like, you know that feeling when you kill a Dawnbreaker in a late game fight. You use everything to kill her because you're going on her first, right? The plan is jump the Dawnbreaker so she can't save her team. You kill her. You use a lot of spells, maybe a BKB, killing her, and then bosh, buyback. She's back in the fight. The fight feels over. You know that feeling when the fight feels over because you've used everything and they buy back. This is what we're trying to replicate. And also your team. You can think about whether your team has bought back, like committed buybacks to already, right? Like if your Troll Warlord buys back into a fight, you fucking better commit everything to it because you got to win off that buyback. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a little bit about the buyback. I think you should use it also to secure objectives like Roshan. Keeping buyback up when you know Roshan's going to happen. Keeping buyback up when the next fight's going to be crucial. If you think like if the enemy are kind of on the way to making a comeback, they're close. And if it's like they're going to win one more fight and then the game, like this is your last chance, save a buyback for that fight. So if you're playing a hero which can get to the fight easily, take towers, has a lot of spells to use twice, like Storm Spirit, use all his mana twice, Leshrac, use all his mana twice, kill towers, Storm Spirit can get to the fight with his ultimate. Maybe there's a TA with Ags who can destroy all the towers, fuck knows. Zeus. I'm just looking at these heroes, I'm not thinking necessarily of the best ones, but you can think about that yourself. When you're playing these heroes, you want to be using your buyback to win games. It's a serious way to win. Because unless you fuck up really badly when you buy back, or you don't have BKB and you run in carelessly, then you can lose games because of the strategy. So there's a very fine balance to make sure you're not going to be throwing. Okay, that's a hard balance to find. Obviously, I make this mistake so much. Like I'm not really that great player, but anyway, this is just some things I learned in 7K, which got me kind of to win some games, not necessarily off of how good I'm pressing my buttons and how quickly I'm like pressing all my spells in the right order. It's just a concept which has gained MMR for me. So I'd like you all to know it. Thank you guys, and yeah, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.